I'm Margit Strout, and today we're going to be cooking for your health. We're going to use as many WIC foods in each of the recipes I've chosen. I hope you enjoy them and have a lot of fun with them. And I would like to present
Christina LaRocca. I'm a Western Carolina University dietetics student helping Margaret today.
And she has told me that she is not the cook that I am. So we're really going to be seeing that these recipes are very easy. I will also say that we had another student, Nicole, who helped tremendously with chopping and organizing. So
Great cook.
And I really need help chopping and organizing today. So the first thing we're going to make is a recipe called savory grain casserole. It is a really, really neat recipe. It is very easy. There are a few tricks with it though. Now, the ingredients, and these can all be found on the website, buncombecounty.org under BCTV. Now, you are going to put half a cup of brown rice in about 2 cups of water, and I'm going to cook this for 10 minutes. And then I am going to add the split peas and cook them for another 10 minutes. You need to cook these at different times because the peas cook much more quickly than the rice. And the 2 cups of liquid is going to be what everything mixes with. So I'm going to let us go to a smidge of a break, and we'll be right back, and we will have these two ready to put into our mixture.
Hi, I'm Corporal Robin Michaela with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. Recently, the Sheriff's Office has been receiving calls from residents reporting fraudulent activity by individuals claiming to be Buncombe County Sheriff's Office warrant service deputies. These individuals are stating that persons being called have ignored their jury duty summons and have a warrant out for their arrest. These impersonators are stating that to get out of being arrested, a fee must be paid. The Sheriff's Office wants to inform citizens that these calls are fraudulent, and we want to urge anyone that has received a call like this to call the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office and make a report. Anyone who thinks that they have an outstanding warrant in Buncombe County can call the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office, the Magistrate's Office, or the Buncombe County Clerk of Court to obtain that information.
You were asking about the brown rice and the peas, why we had to cook them different. Because you put the brown rice in first, and then you're putting in the peas 10 minutes later, so that the brown rice is cooking for 20 minutes and the peas are cooking for 10. Well, brown rice takes longer to cook. So if you put the peas in with the brown rice, you'd have gush. And you wouldn't want to eat gush. No. But you still want to have them partially cooked before you mix them together. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to move stuff over, and I'm trying not to drop this egg. I was listening to somebody, and he said something about doing an egg a different way, and I did it, and the egg fell out of the shell. I was like, well, that doesn't work. So I'm going to do it the traditional way. And I just whacked it on there. Now, you want to beat this egg. And it's just 1 egg. But eggs are WIC foods. So now we are going to add, I'm trying to see, about 1 medium onion chopped. And it's chopped fairly small. And then we have, I think we did, it calls for 2 stalks of celery, but we did 3, simply because I don't cook with a lot of salt. So if I add more of the flavorful vegetables and herbs, then you don't need the salt, because I don't like bland food. Bland food is not good. But this way, you get all that egg in there.
I'll hold it for you. Just a minute.
Yeah, that egg is stubborn. And we're going to put in, how much mushrooms am I putting in? About 1.5 cups, and there's more than 1.5 cups, but again, you want that. And a can of chopped tomatoes. And I wouldn't do the mashed tomatoes because they don't, then it just becomes kind of like a soupy, and you want to have the chunks in this. I'm looking at my time. I think the peas and rice are ready. If you go get them, I will add the herbs and herbs to this. Okay? Now, this is thyme and this is dill. Dill and thyme are very complementary. They're both savories, and between these and the celery, it doesn't sound like it's going to work, but gosh, this is one of our favorite casseroles. And it's so simple. Okay. Yep. And see, the brown rice is partially cooked. It's not quite soft, and the peas are still have a little chunk to them. But we're going to mix them in, and the recipe does call for 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Now, I usually go overboard with all of my herbs and seasonings. I'm not going to do that with soy sauce because soy sauce is so high in sodium, and I also use the low sodium. So I am going to be kind of exact with this. And I don't really know how to get the flavor of soy sauce without using soy sauce. It's just one of those. Now, I'm going to put this in the casserole. We are going to bake it for about an hour at 350 degrees. And then near the end, we are going to put cheese on top. So, and all the ingredients, I think we counted everything but the herbs and the soy sauce are WIC foods. So these are all things that you can use with your vouchers.
Right.
And if you're not on WIC, they're all inexpensive, really good food. I do want to add, I read recently that mushrooms are the only natural source or the only plant source of vitamin D, which everybody is really concerned about. So let us mix this up really well. And, smells good, doesn't it?
Smells good and looks great.
And it's got a lot of different colors. It's got a lot of different textures. I think kids would like this. Now, let's see. Hope this is the right size. When you're making more than one casserole, you have to be aware you may not have enough casserole dishes. But if we have a little left over, we can, I think I can squeeze it in there. What do you think?
I think we can. I think we'll be good to go.
Hope so. Don't want to lose any of the peas. They actually add a sweetness. So it's a sweet savory. All right, let's mush this down real good. So I have my cheese over here, but we're going to add that later. And this will shrink down some. So let us go put this in the oven. And again, we're going to bake it for about an hour at 350 degrees. And when it has baked, we're going to make some other things in the meantime. And when it has baked, then we'll be able to put the cheese on, and you can see the end product. Okay, we'll be back in a little bit.
The W&C Farmers Market is located on a 36-acre site overlooking the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains and Biltmore Estate. It is located in Asheville, North Carolina, which is within a 2-hour drive of a tremendous volume of horticultural products. There are three kinds of produce markets: wholesale, retail, and farmers. The W&C Farmers Market has a blend of all three. We are located in the heart of the apple and tomato production areas and close to the South Carolina peach production area. You can find the whole alphabet of fruits and vegetables at the W&C Farmers Market, from apples to zucchini, as well as mountain crafts, jams and jellies, ornamental plants, flowers, baked goods, and honey. The market is a wonderful place to find farm fresh, vine ripened, and tree ripened produce at a reasonable price. W&C Farmers Market is conveniently located off Interstate 40 at exit 47 and off Interstate 26 at exit 33 in Asheville. Our address is 570 Brevard Road. Whether you are looking to stretch your food budget, entertaining friends, or family, please come out and visit the market and make it a regular part of your place to shop for fresh produce.
Well, again, we're back. The recipe we're going to make this time is not technically a casserole, but it can be prepared in the oven or in a crock pot. And to me, if it's prepared in the oven or the crock pot, it's close enough. So what I'm going to do, it's lentil tacos. Now, let's see. We have a cup, give or take, of minced onion. And this is probably like a medium onion.
Yes.
I think that's what we minced
Medium
up,
onion.
yeah. And again, when you're doing your vegetables, I would rather put a little bit more than a little less.
Right, to get that flavor.
Yes, and also to get all the benefits of the vegetables in there. Onions, celery, and it was,
Half a cup. We did about 2 stalks.
okay. As I said, I've had other people cutting up for me, so I don't know. These we're going to save for the end because they are going to be what we're going to serve with it. Then we are going to put garlic and, well, can you go, we forgot the garlic crusher. Will you go get the garlic crusher? I need all the help I can get, especially today for some reason. Okay. Now, you can do garlic a number of different ways. You can even buy the stuff that's already crushed, but if you buy it in a bulb, believe it or not, it's a WIC food. We checked. Now, it does call for 1. I put in 1 large one and 2 smaller. I want to get all the garlic in here because I happen to like garlic. Alrighty. Then we're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of
Raisins.
raisins, onions.
Those are onions.
No, they're not. Okay, and this kind of looks interesting, and you say, ew, why are we putting raisins in? It kind of softens the spice. Okay. Now, these are lentils, and I have gotten red lentils because that's what I had on hand. You can buy brown lentils or green lentils. I like the red because they're a little bit nicer for tender tummies. So if you have a stomach that's got issues, these are better. And nutritionally, they're pretty much the same. Okay, and then I'm going to throw in some taco seasoning. I'm not going to go too overboard. That stuff tends to be a little high in salt. You can make your own with chili powder, oregano, and some cumin. And then I'm going to put in 2 cups of stock. And then we're going to put this in a casserole, and we're going to stick it in the oven. Again, you can do this in the crock pot. Oops, I should have mixed it up in the casserole. That would have saved a dish. And this is kind of fun because, again, most everything except the raisins and such are
WIC foods.
yes. And we want as many WIC foods as we can do. These are also simple. They're not real high in fat.
And it's a good variety as well.
Yes. So we're going to stick this in the oven. I am going to put the lid on so it kind of steams. And it'll cook for about an hour. You're going to check and see when it's done. All righty, well, let's go do this.
Okay.
And we'll let you guys go for a commercial, and we'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back. Yep. We're going to make tajine. I didn't know how to say it. and I made it once, and oh my word, we just loved it. I am going to make we're going to make a vegetarian type, but you can add chicken to this if you want to. We're going to make half the recipe, so it looks like we're not putting as many ingredients. We did want to, for the saving a little bit of time, to do it ahead, okay? You can do this in a crock pot, or you can do it in a casserole, whichever you prefer. Okay, let me know what I got.
Tomato sauce.
Okay, and this is a little can of tomato sauce. And it said tomato.
Just tomato sauce.
Okay. Or tomato puree, but tomato sauce is more or less as close as you can get to tomato puree. Now we're skipping the salt. You can add salt if you want to.
We're going to the paprika.
And
One
we have
tablespoon.
Well, we actually have 2 tablespoons in here because we have partially the sweet paprika and also the smoked paprika. You can just use whatever you have on hand.
Okay.
Don't use hot, unless you want it to be hot.
Okay. Cumin.
And that was in that.
Okay. Garlic cloves.
And this calls for a lot of garlic. So your house will be quite inviting. No, what's his name on the vampire program?
Yeah.
He wouldn't come to your house.
No vampires.
No vampires.
That's good.
And garlic, now you're just newly out of school, so I bet
Yes.
you know more than I do what good things are in garlic. I'm putting you on the spot. Well, they have a lot of, I believe, flavonoids in them, and flavonoids are really good for you. They do all kinds of stuff for heart, cholesterol. There are people that eat a clove of garlic every morning, and I don't know how they do that.
No.
I mean, they would really not be friends with vampires.
That's one way to keep them away.
You've got to have fun when you're cooking. I tell people just play with recipes, and they kind of look at me like I'm nuts, but that's what I do. I play with my food. All right, what's next?
Okay. We are doing parsley.
Yes, Italian parsley. And this I grew in the backyard. And then when I gathered it up, I just put a bundle, washed it, and then I stuck it in the freezer. You know, shook it out real good. And you're going to show the trick of getting this in.
Okay.
Yeah,
So.
just pick it up,
Yep.
and you can use all of it.
Yes. And these are kitchen shears used for cooking.
Yeah, they're regular scissors, but I do keep, you know, my cooking scissors in the other.
Oops.
Won't hurt anything. It'll
Drop
all
some
cook
in
down.
there.
Hey. And because it's frozen, it's a little bit, it's already been kind of broken down the cell membrane, so
Right.
it does. And again, we're making half of the recipe, so if it doesn't look like it's as much. All right, what am I adding next? And I'll let you kind of see that.
You're adding some lemon or lime juice, and we have lime.
Because it's a little more tender, and I saw this on a cooking program. If you do it through your hands, well, you supposedly don't get any seeds in it, but I think they're stronger than I am. It was a male cook. A little bit of seeds won't hurt you, I guess.
Nope.
If they
don't
do,
think so.
we can pick them out.
There you go.
I think this was a seedless one. All right, there we go.
Okay. Do you have a cup of water?
No, but I'm gonna let you get a cup of water. Let me get a cup of water.
Okay.
Oh, we only need half a cup
Yep.
because we're making half a recipe.
Right.
There we go.
Okay. And we're gonna do our 3.5 pounds of vegetables.
Yes, and you can use whatever vegetables you want. And I wanted to do some interesting ones. Cauliflower. When I did this the first time, I thought, oh, cauliflower will be so icky, it'll be overcooked. It doesn't overcook, it's really good. Oops. And then we put onion. Sweet potato and carrots. You don't need to peel the carrot or the sweet potato, just scrub them off real well. And the thing nobody knew what it was, this is a parsnip. And parsnips are similar to carrots. They have a little bit more starch. They are really, really good in soups. And, you know, I've just found they're nice. They're a good thing to serve. You can put fennel in this if you like fennel. Again, you don't have to put any vegetable in that you don't like. You can try them, like the cauliflower. As I said, I didn't think it would be good. I was so afraid, but I assure you, it was good. It cooked just tender, and it wasn't gushy, because gushy cauliflower is just not good. Ooh, another thing of garlic. Okay,
And then
and
we're gonna add our chickpeas.
yes, which are WIC food.
Right.
And then,
Our 4th cup of raisins.
and again, this is less than a quarter cup simply because we're making half. Now, you can make this,
We'll leave that.
you can bake it, or you can make it in a casserole or a crock pot. And when you think of it, a crock pot is kind of like a casserole maker that is on top of the counter, so you don't have to be there.
Right.
You can come home at lunch, stick it in the crock pot for about 4 hours on low, and you've got dinner when you come home. So, here is a casserole. And we're gonna put this in the casserole. Oops. Ah!
We're losing
Suicidal
our
vegetables.
chickpeas.
Yeah, their chickpeas don't want to go.
Nope. There's one little piece.
And there's a piece of cauliflower. We don't lose that because it actually adds a lot of flavor. We're going to put the lid on, stick it in the oven. We're going to let you go to a break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to make shepherd's pie.
Vegetarian shepherd's pie.
Vegetarian shepherd's pie. And there's an extra little treat in this recipe that I never thought about doing, but it's really yummy. So we'll tell you in a minute.
Okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay, Max? I'll be back.
How long does it take for your pet to die from heat stroke? The temperature in your car can be 120 degrees in just 10 minutes. What an avoidable, senseless tragedy.
No one whose pet has died thought it would ever happen to them.
Do you really want to take a chance with your pet's life?
A reminder from the Animal Coalition of Buncombe County.
Welcome back. Now for shepherd's pie. And I'm going to let you keep me on track.
Sounds good.
Now, I do have to say, we did part of this ahead simply because it would take less time. These are lentils, and this is barley. The lentils are a wick food. The barley is not, but it's a really neat grain. I can't describe it. It's not like rice. It's not like any other grain, but it's interesting. And it's got a texture that's kind of almost chewy even when it's done, which is, I think it's interesting, and it adds to this. This is a wick food, this is not. So we're going to kind of keep track. You want to boil that before you, that's what you start with. And you cook it in a little bit of broth. So it's, and I'm just going to add this simply because it is, I cooked it ahead so we didn't have to do what we did with the peas, though I did want to explain more with the peas and the brown rice.
Right.
All right, what's next?
2 cups of stock.
And we're making half a recipe, so we've cooked it in the 2 cups of stock, and then we add some more stock. Remember, we do that?
Yes.
And then we've got onion, which, what is it, the Trinity is the onion, garlic, and pepper, the Holy Trinity. We don't have pepper, but I'm sure you could add this pepper to this, but I don't know that it really needs it. And the garlic, and a garlic press. You want a good garlic press, because sometimes you press garlic and they break. I tend to go through them quite a bit. Now to this, we want to thicken it just a tad, so since this is cool, I'm going to add just a little bit of flour. And I use whole wheat flour. It's not a wick food. Even if it's white flour, you can add white flour. And you don't necessarily need the flour. And then I'm adding,
Frozen mixed vegetables.
yes, and they've been sitting out a while, so they are defrosted. Normally you cook this part before you put it in, but because I've defrosted everything, it will cook nicely in the oven.
Right.
Now for the surprise, and I want to show you a neat little gadget I got a number of years ago. This is it's not really a chopper, but it chops. And one way you turn it goes to the fine, and one is more coarse. And you just roll this. And then if you want to make it fine, you do that way. And it's kind of fun for kids. It's not one of the things that you beat like that. And I think it's more fun. So we're going to add walnuts. The walnuts are going to add a nutty, but they don't cook down, so they've got a crunchy aspect to them as well. Well, not crunchy, but I don't know how else to describe it. All right, we're going to mix this together. Now, the next thing we're going to use is not a wick food, and it's not a wick food simply because of the way it is generally prepared. I am just going to pour this in here. I'm going to spread it out. It's very colorful. If you use brown lentils, it does have a different color. I'm going to throw some pepper.
And
you can do salt, but because we use broth, and broth, I didn't make my own vegetable broth, so it doesn't have the, it has a lot of salt in it. And I don't think a lot of salt's good. Now, this is the food that's not a wick food, but it's still, it's an okay food. It's just, we tend to fry it. So I've taken baking potatoes, and I boiled them. We cut them up. You actually cut them up
I did
wonderfully.
cut them up.
And we did not peel them.
No.
We left the peelings on. simply because that way they have just a tad more nutrition. It makes them a little bit more interesting. I'm not getting these on terribly well. I've got to get them flatter, but that works. And this is going to go in the oven, and it's going to be cooked at 350 degrees until the potatoes are kind of, I don't know, they're golden around the edges. And this is a food, actually, if you make up everything but the potatoes, this freezes well. Potatoes don't freeze well. The type of starch in potatoes is just not good for freezing. I will also confess the other secret ingredient in this is I use sour cream in my potatoes rather than milk and butter. And I use the low fat, I don't use the fat-free. I don't like fat-free sour cream. And I'm not sure exactly how much potatoes. These actually smell really good.
They do smell good.
Now, if you want to save time, you can use instant. But, you know, we're getting fancy today. So, there we go. You can do all kinds of fancy tops with forks and such. Run a fork across the top, but I'm just going to leave it like this. We're going to put this in the oven. Then when we come back, we are going to look at that grain casserole and add the cheese to it. But I want to show you that, and then we're also going to finish the tacos.
Yummy.
And then we get to eat.
Awesome.
Okay. Be right back.
Visit your local tailgate market and fall in love with the freshest, best tasting food around. Find your farmer at mountainmarkets.com.
Welcome back. We are going to make our tacos. Actually, I'm going to make Christina make our tacos because they are so easy. And even a novice cook, I mean, she's learning how to cook, she's told us. So let me kind of show you what I would do, and everyone can serve themselves. You put just a smidge of this in there. And I added cheese. These are not on the recipe, but heck, I like a little cheese. And then I've got some avocado. Avocados are very popular now. They're WIC food.
And they have lots of palm mono and polyunsaturated fats, which are the more healthy fats as opposed to saturated.
And then some lettuce. We're going to put them all fancy here. So I'm going to hold this and let you do one, and then we'll have them all.
And I'm going to go in a different order.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Cheese is always on top for me.
I just like it on the bottom so it melts.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You know, it's interesting how you have preferences.
And I actually made tacos last night, so this would be a good, another good recipe for me to try because I did ground beef yesterday. So I will definitely have to try this at home.
Yes.
My avocado.
I think avocados have become very popular foods recently. We never really had a lot of, you know, people across the spectrum eating them. See, I also put the cheese on there because I can get it off my hands a little bit.
That's true, as you can see. A little messy. Oh, another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to fill this up.
Different order this time.
Yeah, you know, let's go all crazy. We can have each.
I'm going to do the cheese next now. Oh my gosh.
Well, if it's melted, I think melted cheese is, you know.
Oh, it's wonderful. Let's see. A little more lettuce.
I think I fill mine up just a tad more than you do as well.
Yeah, mine are a little skimpy.
No, they're just going to be easier to handle. I believe in messy eating. Whoops. Speaking of which, that's okay.
We can clean it up later.
No, actually, I have the four-legged vacuum cleaner that cleans
And
up
I
quite
have
slow.
one too, and it's awesome. Although when they're not there, you're looking for them, wondering where they are to pick up your food. I'll go this way.
Oh, we're getting
know.
exciting.
I'm not going in my same order, and I like order, so.
It just goes to show you can do food any way you want to. And, that was more generous too.
Yeah.
You can add some salsa to these if you want to. These are a little bit milder because sometimes children like things milder. Or if you have a wimp like me, we prefer things milder. But you can see how pretty this is, and people could actually make their own. So again, if they want to go in whatever order they want to, they can. And this makes about 6, maybe 7 tacos. These are pretty much all WIC foods that you're putting on top of them because it's the cheese, it's the avocado, the tomato, lettuce, and so it kind of, this is a way that you can use more of your WIC foods for just a normal meal. There we go.
Almost done.
Yep. I think we can fit that one in there and it'll, oh, that was a challenging one. Those avocados just don't want to stay. So there we go with that. That is done. And that was easy. Very easy recipe.
And your hands might get a little messy.
Okay, we are going to just run and get the grain casserole. We're going to put the cheese on, and then we're going to put everything out, and we get to taste everything.
Best
That's
part.
the best part, yeah.
Visit your local tailgate market and fall in love with the freshest, best tasting food around. Find your farmer at mountainmarkets.com.
Welcome back. The grain casserole has cooked to the point that we can add the cheese. Now, just for saving time, we're going to just add the cheese and we're going to let it melt. Normally, we put it back in the oven until the cheese is melted. Now, if you have a larger casserole, like a 9x13, you can put more cheese, but I'm not going to put a ton on here. Okay, that is, I think, good. And we're just going to pretend this is melted, okay? Now, we have our tacos, our tajine, and I have made rice for that. You can serve it over couscous, you can serve it over noodles, you can serve it over all kinds of things. And then we have our shepherd's pie, and it's hot. Okay, and again, you can look and you can see all those wonderful vegetables in there. And yeah, it's nice and got a nice golden. So, I think this is everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. We made 4 dishes. They were all easy.
I can do it.
Yes. Christina has said that she's going to go home and she's going to cook. So these are easy recipes. We always try to make easy recipes. Now we get to do the fun part and we get to try them. And I am dying to try this tajine.
Okay.
Because it's a little different than the kind that we made before. And again, you can add chicken to this if you want to, but I kind of wanted to keep it to as many WIC foods as I could. Now, do you want to take a bite too as well? Because if we have 2 forks, we can always share. But
That's fine. I'll take a bite. Let's see.
savory, sweet, everything. I think the kids would like it. And the cauliflower's fine.
Let's see.
Just the right
Very
combination. Now, let's try a little bit of the shepherd's pie.
I'm looking forward to this one.
And it looks like you made it with meat.
It does.
And again, it's all WIC foods. So,
Hot.
don't the walnuts add such an interesting texture?
Yeah.
So,
Very good.
now, the tacos we're just going to have to eat ourselves.
Yeah, we can share those.
Oh, I don't want to waste food. Here we go.
Okay. I'll pick a cheese on top since.
That's your preference, and I'm going to pick a
That's right.
cheese on the bottom.
Okay.
And we are not going to be neat when we eat these.
No. Tacos, I don't think ever are neat.
No.
They're always messy foods.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and eat with my plate so I don't drop.
These are really good. You don't even need sour cream or anything else. I mean, it's just a simple recipe. Kids would be able to help you after you get the avocado cut. They can help either scoop it up, or they can help with the lettuce, they can help with the lentils. This is good. Well, we've enjoyed cooking. I've enjoyed cooking with Christina. And thank you, Nicole, for all your wonderful help. I couldn't have done it without you.
And thank you for showing all these wonderful recipes. So
Want you to know, I appreciate you all as well. I care about you. You matter. And I hope you go to our website and try out some of these recipes.